parent guardian permission. The themes for the month will be posted on the website, rideswithjamie.com. Please make sure to check that out. Your spot will be confirmed. If you're looking to perform, then we actually open our sign up at 9 p.m. on Monday nights, and then it's open, and then it closes again at 9 on Fridays. So if you're not able to sign for the next week, then you do have time to continue because we have all the themes up there for at least a few months. So please make sure to check that out. And then artists only get 5 minutes. So please make good time of your 5 minutes and look out to be confirmed, because just because you sign up doesn't mean you're already confirmed. We do have, sometimes we have too many people. So we want to make sure that we're really sticking with the time so everybody's able to get what they need out of these open mics. Okay, and artists must bring their own instruments track. We also now have artists come in a little bit earlier for a sound check because we see on Zoom anything can happen. We are live and direct, so we have to make sure that we're able to contact you and check in early. Right. We just have so many great things, so I just have to make sure that you know all of them. So LFO. LFO is a 9-month weekly program that will use poetry, music, and visual arts to teach Black youth about their rights. And this program has actually been extended till March 31st. So if you're out there writing, performing, creating for free, might as well tap into this opportunity to actually be paid for your work, have the support of great people in the community, and really be able to open up your network. I think that's something that's not talked about as much, is how important your network is. So please, if you haven't already heard about LFO, check out our page, use our link tree to be able to sign up, and you only have until Thursday. Okay, we're almost done. Thank you for sticking with me. And another performance show that we have for you is Rise in the Parks. If you haven't seen the amazing clips on our Instagram, please go back and watch right now because the videos are amazing. And they're just a small snippet of what you're going to see on April 1st at 7 p.m. So please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to say that a few times about the show. So you will already see the notification for the show coming up. And then, as you know, which I hope you already know, R.I.S.E is going to be celebrating 10 years. Yes, 10 years of open mics, not this Saturday, on Saturday, April 16th, 2022. But right now, we're actually looking for volunteers to help out with that date. So if you do have the time, if you're looking for volunteer hours, if you know somebody looking for volunteer hours, please make sure to reach out to us to sign up for a volunteer list. This show is going to be amazing. On April 16th, we're going to be having some of the hottest artists in the city. Honestly, 10 years, this is the show that we've been waiting for. And it's going to be our first show in person. Who's trying to be in person? I know that I am. I really miss being around people. And then last but definitely not least, because we try to have a lot of options to help various creatives. So we have a giveaway happening right now with Twin Rivers, and we're going to be announcing the winner on IG Live by April 15th. So what you can get is actually, you'll be able, by attending the open mic, you'll be able to get a ballot for the production. And then you'll actually be getting a free mixing and mastering session. So if you're into music, if you've been looking to try to get into the studio, please don't sell yourself short. Please make the time to actually show up and get into this giveaway. Because I know you could hear giveaway and you think, oh, another giveaway, because there's so many giveaways on Instagram. But this may be the giveaway for you. I always thought that I could never win a giveaway. And then one day I just did one and I won this really cool thing from Winnipeg. So you never know, go for it. Twin Rivers, that information is also in the link bio. Okay. So now that I've said all the announcements, we are going to get into some performances. Excellent. And thank you so much, Marissa, for sending all the information in the chat so that you have all the links so you can get connected. Now, who's ready for some performances? Let me see it in the chat if you're ready to hear some performances. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Excellent. Perfect. Excellent. So I'm just gonna double check to see. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, people. I know the announcement can get a little long, but we need to know what's going on so we can hop on, gotta know what's going on so we can hop on. So first up, we have an Moosey Lion is first to the stage, and then on deck we have KG. So Moosey, if you could please first start by stating your name, your pronouns, and if you can give us a little bit of insight on the question that we asked, which is either how do you show up for yourself, or what's the last thing that you learned about yourself?
I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. My name is Musi Lion, and it's actually a backronym for Made Out of Societal Enigma, Young Leaders Impacting Our Nation. I'm a hip-hop / Afro-realist from Ibutemeta, West Lagos, Nigeria. I've been rapping unofficially for 13 years, unofficially. I had to take a trip down memory lane back to 2014 when my mom died. My mom practically died in my arms, and I had to show up for myself and my family because at that point in time, I realized that life wasn't certain or guaranteed for anybody. I could go one more most time. At that point in time, I had to show up for myself by being much more better. I used to be very, very up and down that inspired me to do better with my life for myself. So yeah, that was my man. Thoughts and reading, and really, really just highly inspired to no relenting. It's off of my most recent Fight for the Streets Volume 1. And
okay. You were freezing a little bit for me, but now I think it's a bit better because I want to, sorry, can you practice speaking again? I wanted to make sure we're.
If you're able to hear, go to Spotify or any other digital platform. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, okay, that's better. That's better.
Oh, you guys can hear me now? Okay, so I said I practically had to show up for myself after my mom died, I had to do better with my life for myself and also for my family, and also be a better human being to other humans around me. Because life is really not about whatever race you represent or whatever ethnicity you belong to. Life is really all about just good and bad people. So it's your choice to either be good or bad. So I just decided to be good by the grace of God, and I'm striving every day to keep being good. So my first track right now that I'm performing is titled Thoughts and Rhythm. After that, I'll be performing No Relenting. It's a track that I made for my brothers that make music, and also for my sisters that are dream chasers, that the dream would always pay. Just make sure that you keep at it. No matter how long it takes, the dream always pays. So no relenting to every soldier, and every soldier out there, man. That's just it. So if you guys are ready, man, let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into the music, right? All right, let's do it. Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me? Yes, sir. Hey. God bless you for this song. Yes, sir. Say, hey, oh, hey, oh. My name is Musi Skirter. I'm from the trenches where life is really hard. Where boys become men at a very young age. From learning to survive in their homes and the streets. The reason that was the damn cannon for a dream. Because the price to dream doesn't come cheap. And the riches that he needs most can afford a geek. That's why I never blame anyone that fell off. I wish you well in every single thing you do. Even though it's super clear, I'ma never message you. Not to brag, I'll be too damn cocky with my ego like it's too. Many thoughts tell me far better than school did. Best is truly out sure life really is. Since I watched my mama die, I've been starting traumatized steadily. Thinking about the day daddy did my thumb, but before then I'ma go hard. Be the beacon for the youths and the kids on the streets. It's just that what is what, it will never come easy. Success is amazing when you're doing what you love. It's my food for thought to every single dream chaser. Listen to my voice and give my fine piece of solitude. For I am one of you, gonna break some pain. With you two on the hope that I'm ever gonna win. But God bless my daddy for naming me great. Music made me Musi, my journey made me line. It's the major reason the breathing never drown me. Gone through the fire, just to rise like a phoenix. 11 years in, I'm far from finished. Matter of fact, I'm just getting started. So what's the speed? This balls like my jaw broke. On the off season, Jermaine go. Till the game unlocked in my chokehold. Real rap, no mumbo. Hey, let me go again. The record should be called No Hook, but I got a record that is called No Hook, so I'ma call this one. My thoughts and the rhythm brought to life by my brother from another mother. And by mother, I ain't never met Timo's mother, but the love for the art brought us together. Now it's classics and masterpieces going on the shelf. Now it's classics and masterpieces going on the shelf. Is it? Now let's go into the next track. I appreciate you guys loving this. This is Thoughts and Rhythm. Now let's go into No Relenting, man.
I know you don't care. You saw from my mind.
Let's do it, man. My mind, them on the grind all day. Because they know that crime don't pay. So they stay there to show the pain. Inside the sun for the rain. They keep on igniting their flames. Even in the dark, struggling to survive. Mosquito they bite, still my mind them hold it down. Cause you know if you beg no man, I blessings we're already begging God. Yeah, applying patience all through the test. I'm calling so close that the best. So you said go just guys confess. I'm a man them they deserve the best. Chain I sweat I be. Yes, them don't shed on top. Grandpa. Grind us, but bless you walk on my man, them we try hard. Those are my man, them on the block. Grind us, but bless you walk on my man, them we try. No relent, yeah, so shine so relenting, yeah. Break up the gates and bust up the show. So they know that we here. Man, they must slay the demons. We make they fear. Taking the risk, my mind, they're dreaming. This is our year. From my head to my toes, I put it on my bros. We grew it down no dough. Now we doing the most. I keep stuff this whip. DJ cooking more beats. The recording hits. DDCP is lit. Mali moving legit. Music turning to bricks. Lion shit is the team. Now we living the dream. Steady shining like beams. Teaching the youths and kids. Caught up on every blog. The God is the only blog. One goes out from my man, them on the block where they grind us. God bless you, walk on my man, them where they strive hard. Two goes out from my man, them on the block where they grind us. God bless you, walk on my man, them where they strive. No relenting. Yeah. Soldier no surrender. No relenting. Soldier no surrender. Yo, man, my apologies, man. I apologize for that, man. I have to stop it right there. God bless you guys for listening. If you want to tap in with me, my name is Musi Ellis for Lion on all social media platforms. Appreciate the love. Bless up.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing and giving us those vibes, especially on the second track. I really heard the beat. It was just really thumping. And in the first track, you really gave a lot of positive, motivational vibes. Yes, JCC has energy. So definitely check out the chat. That was lit. I'm really excited to continue on with the night. Don't want to take away too much time from our performers. So next up, we have KG ready to take the stage. So if you can do the same, answer one of the questions during your intro. And then on deck, we have Ricky. And the question was, what's the last thing you learned about yourself, or how do you show up for yourself? Go on, KG.
Yeah. What up, man? I go by KG, which stands for Kevin Gabriel. I'm Latino or Latinx, yeah. How do I you mind repeating your question again?
Yes. How do you show up for yourself?
How do I show up for myself? Like with practice and preparation, you know what I mean? I feel everything is like revolves around mind, body, and soul, you know what I mean? If I don't put my hours in, that's gonna show results of like my work and craft and stuff. And that's something I take very serious, you know, like I take accountability and full awareness, you know, internally and externally without like everything around me, right? So I try to like put my hours in and make sure I polish my craft, and I always open the dialogue. I'm receptive to like, you know, taking the constructive feedback and just keep on going, keep on pushing the progress, you know what I mean? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. What up, Rise? What up? Let's get it, man. Oh man, I've been inspired by like poetry recently, man. So I'm gonna drop a quick piece and get onto the tracks. I go by KG, like I said, no raw, knowledge and knowing. The raw is the eye of the sun. Let's get it. All right. She told me the concept of time and destiny don't matter. She says F religion. She chooses to control her own chapters. Refuse to waste her time on men who make it obvious what they go after. The same men who sexualize the liberation of a pole dancer. Honor women's rights. A queen like Sheba. Loves to paint, her favorite artist be Frida. Since a little girl, she wanted to make art and one day open a galleria. But the neglect from her parents made her drink sangria. Fade the pain like anesthesia. Deep in solitude as her dreams fade through ecstasy raves, she will never mentally break. Then one day, the pregnancy came. Now at her 40s, looks back at memory lanes. Works at a firm as she eventually fades. She doesn't seem to say much, but her dreams died. And that left pieces of her faith crushed. But one day, watching her daughter made her wake up. As she bought her a canvas and a paintbrush. Told her daughter her days as an artist when she was a little girl. Smiled and told her, now it's your turn to go paint your world. Yeah, yeah. And that's like a piece that I wrote like when I was like... yeah, thank you. I wrote that piece like 7 years ago. I wanted to like switch it up and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. All right, let's get to the records, man. Let's do this, man. Yo, Toronto stand up, yo. Worldwide stand up. You know what it is. Let's get it, yo. Dark Hours, yo. Let's get it. Ooh, rewind selector. Y'all can hear that? I'm good? All right, let's get it.
Good.
Yo. Been told everything a state of mind, so we spend a lot of days trying to escape in time. There's been moments that make you wanna break inside. Could it be wrong to chase something and make it mine? Homie had a gift, used to kick a ball, but thought gang signs were cooler. Hand tied his future and his body in the river. Stand by with shooters, took the wrong step like a landmine intruder. Damn. Never got the chance to speak, not in a sense of impediments and grammar speech, but his sense his views never be damn perceived. Deep into the stories, I got stories you can't believe. Grew up in Toronto where he moved a lot. In the wintertime the worst, we would lose our thoughts. Understood where I'm stepping to. As a kid you couldn't walk with red and blue. Damn, I need some mental room. I was waiting by the bus stop in the middle of the night. Looking at the time, I'll be thinking I'm alright. But you never know what happens when you rollin' on your ones. A cop could pull up, remind them asking where you from. Told my stories and experiences, alignments of appearances. Paranoid and fear within, in a place where my demons live. Don't mistake me for someone that you're beefing with. Yo, I need a second to breathe and chill, cause I don't know what pride and ego means that you keep it real. Remember you from joking in the hallway to throwing up your set. Days I wanna take my pain and cobra clutch his neck, cause you could have been a teacher, you could have been whatever, but now you're lost soul. Did I speak about my records? I wonder what would happen if we were in better stages. But all I do is look back at the ones that never made it. I was waiting by the bus stop in the middle of the night. Looking at the time, I be thinking I'm alright, but you never know what happens when you rollin' on your ones. A cock could pull up, remind them, ask you where you from. Though my stories and experiences, alignments of appearances. Paranoid and fear within, and a place where my demons live. Don't mistake me for someone that you're beefing with. Places where freedom is caged in cells. The situations where you can't afford to take an L. What if it goes wrong like that skit in Dave Chappelle? The mental of prison, even our brains are made of cells. I don't wanna wait no more. Don't tell me what happens next. Don't tell me who's capping less. What's action no manifest. That's a mirror you can't reflect. But yo, I was waiting for the bus stop in the middle of the night. Looking at the time, I be thinking I'm alright. But you never know what happens when you rollin' on your ones. A cock could pull up, remind them, ask you where you from. Throw my stories and experiences, alignments of appearances. Paranoid and fear within, in a place where my demons live. Don't mistake me for someone that you're beefing with. One, yeah. Shouts to R.I.S.E, man. Much love, much love. Thank you.
Absolutely fire. Like, first of all, I didn't know that you did poetry. So thank you. Please, more of that as well, because your storytelling abilities are truly out of this world, truly. And thank you for continuing to come and just show us your art, because like I'm speechless. Well, I was just going, you said even in, sorry, I gotta scroll up. You said about the, right? I was getting carried away because that was so good. You said something about even our brain is made in cells.
Oh, the
I
mental
almost left
prison. Even
through
our brains are made of cells. Yeah.
because the cells in our body.
Yeah.
You are just absolutely amazing. And in the chat, someone says, "What is the song called, and is it dropped anywhere?"
Yeah. It's on Spotify. I'll drop my link there too. It's called Dark Hours. I also released a new song like last week, Down If You're Down, with the homegirl Betty Bionic, produced by Peace Child. Shout out to my boy Jamal, he sings in it too. And basically the song of Dark Hours is basically because I grew up in the West End, right? And I'm pretty sure it's similar to the East End as well too, or just anywhere in the world, right? You're just there in the bus stop minding your business, and you're just paranoid. You know what I mean? Like you never know what might happen. Like I had experiences where like a cop will pull up and ask me questions for no reason. You know what I mean? No reason at all, or like a man them mistaking me for someone else. So like I wanted to like tell my experiences and experiences of other people who never got the chance to speak their speak the truth. You know what I mean? So
Facts. That's exactly it. Speaking the truth and the legacies and talking about the hardships when it's like, yeah, it can be very nerve-wracking just standing at a bus stop, and this is why. So thank you again for sharing and continuing to share your story, because we need to hear the truth and in fire forms that you presented as.
thank you. Much love, R.I.S.E. Much love, everyone, man. Peace.
Excellent. And then next up, we have the amazing Ricky. And then on deck, we have Corey. So Ricky, if you can answer the questions here. Well, one of them is one of the two. So either what's the last thing you learned about yourself, or how do you show up for yourself before you start with your performance today?
Okay. How I show up for myself is I surround myself with love, with people who love me. That's like the best way I can stand up for myself and just be there for myself, because if I surround myself with that love, I know that, I'm always going to have those people there because they love me. So whenever I need something, that love is there. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Ricardo, or Ricky. I go by Ricky mostly. I'm here to share some poetry with you guys. My first piece I wrote after a really hard breakup. There's no name to it yet, but here it goes. I shed a tear for you, hoping you realize the pain you brought, that I get the peace I deserve. I pray and I hope as I hang from this rope of despair that wraps around me like a blanket. I shed a tear for you, so you may release me from these shackles of pain you put around my brain. I shed a tear as I lie here, withering away. I shed a tear for you. So that's the first one. The second piece I wrote on a really rough day. I was just chilling in the hospital. So it's a pretty dark poem. There's a lot of hard language in here, but I feel like it was something that I needed to share. And it's called Crisis. Okay. I'm trapped in this vicious cycle. I teeter on the edge of life and death. Take me away from this false living. I no longer want to feel worthless. I want to feel death. The cold breath slipped between my lips. My heart is slow and unsteady. Sit and wait while my wrists release crimson red and I melt away from existence. That is the feeling I strive for, the feeling of death. Walk with me as I struggle to keep myself alive. The overwhelming anxieties consume all I am, and pain is the only way out of its strong grip. Why is the only way out so painful for those around me? If only I could go without hurting anyone but myself. I think about the afterlife and how much better it would treat me. Oh, to be a soul peacefully unliving. Thank you.
Amazing. I'm seeing the snaps there, and that's the thing. Kudos for actually like tapping in and talking about those deep emotions, because it's not really prompted to, but when you do them, we're able to be like, wow, like you really took it there. You know what I'm saying? And then that just shows your bravery to be able to be like, yo, this is what I want to talk about. And it's very encouraging and inspiring to be able to be like, hey, like I'm actually gonna talk about something completely different that's actually very deep, and for me to be able to get it out and continue to share it, that's power. So thank you so much for being honest about your truth and just being like, yo, like, because it is something that passes through our mind pieces to talk about something as heavy as death, and especially when we're thinking about our own death, but that's still something, you know? So thank you for sharing and really just coming through.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share, and I'm hoping I can share more.
Yes, absolutely. 100. Excellent. Thank you, Ricky. And then I just have to give a quick announcement. If you have signed up, please let Rise event / Marissa in the chat. Let her know if you have signed up, but you weren't here on time, because we want to make sure that you're still able to perform because you signed up for a reason, right? Excellent. So before I get, excellent. So next up, we have Corey, and then on deck, we have Salam. And if I pronounce it incorrectly, please let me know after. Thank you. So Corey, please come to the stage. I'm going to ask you the same thing here. If you can answer one of the two questions based off our theme, Marching with My Inner Self. What's the last thing you learned about yourself, or how do you show up for yourself? And I'm loving these answers.
Okay. Hi, I'm Corey, guys. I'm about to be 27 tomorrow. I'm from Alabama, but I'm actually in Toronto right now visiting. That's how I found out about you guys. I've never done this before. So I was about to when COVID hit in 2019, but then like everything stopped. And my best friend actually motivated me to go, and he passed away 2 months ago. So I'm trying to show up for him today. So that's something I'm showing up for. I'm super nervous. I've never done this before, but I'm just going to kind of like dive kind of into it. It's called The Devil's Advocate. It's a poem I wrote when I was 17, so almost 10 years ago. I was in a really bad abusive relationship, and now that's what I do. I have a website to help women, empower other women who have been through any type of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, of any type. I'm really here for that. So yeah, I've been writing since I was a little kid. It's something that I like to do. Never really done it for other people. So here we go. This is called The Devil's Advocate. See, I've always just tried to be like everybody else, but I know deep inside you haven't felt what I felt. My friends would pass by and I wouldn't even wave. Like they would see me, I was locked in this cage. Struggling so hard to get some money in my pocket. I'd pawn anybody's things, DVDs, rings, and lockets. Would lie to my mama to support my own habit. Would cheat a best friend, and it just kept on happening. It became to me like a daily routine to rinse my mouth out with some Listerine. After I'd down half of a bottle. I'm not talking about Pepsi. I'm talking about that vodka. Would come home to the guy that should have given me the world to get cussed out and thrown back out the door. All because I wore my shorts a little too short, or because I didn't text him back while he was at work. Taking care of them when they're slaughtered is the absolute worst. I can't tell you how many times I've escaped that hearse. Drop kicked in my stomach with a 2-year-old in my hand. And the reason he did it is because he thought I was pregnant. His shoe came off. Thank God it saved my ribs. Only thing to say was it was an accident. His shoe didn't come off because he wished me less pain. His shoe came off because he came kicking with rage. I could explain it in detail, but I don't feel like it'll change a thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could touch you real deep, and that's what I want. I want to feed your living soul. I want to speak so profound. You feel me speaking in your toes. So have the love of your life backhand you right in the face. And what you did wrong was spoke out of place. Wear that busted lip for a couple of days and get treated good too, but it's just a phase. He'll be bad at choking you until your face turns blue. He'll be bad at making sure you know you're a whore too. He'll tell you we need shampoo, knowing you got to steal it. And if you get caught, you know he's the first one leaving. I'm trying to talk to y'all with my whole heart, but I honestly don't know where I would start. He made me feel so little and then so big, like climbing up a cliff, but always hanging off the edge. He made me doubt myself and I believed every word. He'd be so painful, then he'd ease my hurt. I look in a mirror and not know what I see. I stare so hard, like, is this really me? When did my eyes become so gloomy and my face so pale? Why are my teeth so yellow and my vibe so stale? I'd walk in a room and everything gets quiet. So together in life, I just stopped trying. I had nobody to talk to when we would fight. I had to cuddle with the devil every single night. And don't get me wrong when I say things like that, because I know I stated previously in other facts. No, he is not the devil, literally himself, but poor boy was made every inch in pure hell. And taking one look, you probably wouldn't believe. He's done all the things I claim he's done to me, but he's dragged me by my hair back into his house, not even 10 minutes after kicking me out. Ask everyone who's partying, everyone who's drunk that he's finna beat the hell out of me. Who wants to turn? So I'm not the only one who's seen it, the only one who's noticed. All of a sudden, his presence grows colder. His eyes become thicker. You couldn't look through him. His chest bulletproof, and they all knew it. They knew that if they stood up for me, took that chance. They knew they were asking the devil for a dance. And you can only win that with God at your feet. They learned it good and they learned it quickly. I was his. I was to do what I was told. Consequences were harsh, but I forgot those words. So the seasons changed and we stayed making fires. He got drunker and drunker and I higher and higher. His friends were always around, so of course they were there, but they all knew better to talk to me or stare, because one time he almost threw me in, but instead he just took a cigarette to my skin. And the scar on my knee is from a blade of a fan. He tried to use my face, so I'm lucky, I guess. Got this one on my hand from a box blade. Lucky again, because my neck would have been more pain. Got this one on my wrist, but that's for me. He just laughed while watching me bleed. Got several on my shoulder from shattered glass. Crazy dude broke a mirror on my back. I swear I can still feel the stings on my lip, and I can still see how he busted. So for me, it started when I was 15, and to be so young, I had to grow up quickly, and I'm trying to save you. Take it off your mind. I'm trying with you to leave these memories behind, because still to this day, you can't get in my face. It's going to take me back to that old place where you talk to me and act like everything's all calm. Then as soon as I shut up, he grabbed me by my arm, throw his hand around my face, slide his fingers around my throat, put a pillow in front of my mouth until I was starting to choke. So if I didn't touch you, I mean, touch you real deep, at least admit sometime we felt like me. I've struggled, I've broken, I pulled myself through, and the only person stopping you is you. That's it. Thank you.
Wow. First of all, thank you for no. First of all, that's not it, because that was so amazing, impactful. The way that you delivered that, like, I literally just felt like I was in your story, traveling with you. That was so impactful. So that was no. That's it. That's it. Boom. Okay. Sorry. Let me put myself back. And you're saying that you don't usually perform. This was your first like online like.
No, this is my first poetry slam ever.
Okay, but you were saying before that. What were you saying before about the first time
I had signed up for my first one in 2019 because my best friend, Adonis, he really motivated me. He's like, you got to share this with people. You got to do this. And so he finally convinced me to do it. And then COVID happened and they canceled it. And then he passed away 2 months ago. And I was like, I got to do this. I got to still do this. So I did it.
Yes. I'm sorry to hear about your friend's passing, but I'm so glad that you're stepping in and continuing to push his legacy with your art. And it's very impactful, your story, and like the way how you just really, like, please check the comments, because there's a lot of support in there where people are just saying, like JCC says, speechless. Thank you for the vulnerability. The craft of that was ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. The craft, I was like, wow. So thank you. We really hope to see you again. And because we're online, still connect with us even when you do leave Toronto, please. And thank you for getting you are so
I definitely
brave.
want to come back, and if we have time at the end, I'll share some more. So yeah, I'm excited to hear everybody else.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being mindful of time, because I'm just here like, let's talk. But okay, yes, we do have amazing performance. Yes, JCC says pull up often. So thank you for being here. Definitely check out the chat. And next up, we have Selam on deck. And can you let me know if I pronounced your name correctly?
It's Salon.
Selam.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Selam. Excellent. Thank you so much for the correction. So if you could just let us know, answer one of the questions that we have here. And just a heads up, Oral, you are on deck to be next. And so if you could answer one of the two questions, either what's the last thing that you learned about yourself, or how do you show up for yourself before we get into your performance?
Wow, those are awesome questions. The most recent thing I learned about myself is that I am very sensitive. Um, I think when you are in a community where you have to put up those walls, you'll do them very well. So finding a community in a space where I get to be vulnerable, where I get to be sensitive, get to be myself is the way forward now. I no longer will experience or share space with anyone who forces me to be a person I don't want to be anymore. And doing that work. So yeah, that's definitely something I've learned for myself or about myself. And I'm definitely doing that work so that I can be the best version of myself. Do I just like get into it? I just start the story. So I'm so nervous, y'all. My name is Salam. This story is actually my journey through finding the love for that name, Salam. I'm excited to share the story with you guys. It actually goes with today's theme, finding my inner self. And this journey was something that I definitely had to overcome, unpack, hold myself accountable as well, and hold a white supremacist nation accountable for what they made me endure with this name. So I'm very excited to share with you guys. R.I.S E, thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, let's start. So it's a short story titled The Name I Answered To by moi, Salam Ankou. It was the first day of grade 1. Teacher was standing there, and because my last name starts with an A, I'm always first on that list. She looked at the list, looked back at me, looked back at the list, and started stuttering. The name she swallowed was not mine, and what was coming out was also not mine. She was struggling. I was looking around, and already with my Black skin, I knew I was othered. I didn't belong. And I know y'all are asking me, girl, how did you remember that at 6 years old? But this happened to me every year after that. Grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, but we'll get to what happened in grade 5 later. So she was struggling. Sa, as I sat there with shame, as guilt, because I knew the name that was going to come out was not my own. She finally decided on Salome, a name that was not mine, but I answered to it. Present. This happened to me every single year after that, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. And by the time grade 5 came around, I was moving to a new school and I was so excited. I sat on that bus figuring out for myself how I would take back the name that they destroyed and gave them a new one, a name that would be prettier and easier on their tongue, Afua. Afua is my day name, the name most of my family calls me. Because and only in professional spaces, I was called Salome, it was easier for me to now step into a name that I know I would be more confident in because they took away my confidence. As I started in grade 5 and the teacher had that list, I'm number 1 on it again because my last name is Ankou. First on the list, I was nervous. I was filled with shame, the same shame that would happen year and year and year after because they took away the confidence that I should have in my name. My parents chose Salam with intention. They chose that name to deposit comfortability and as well as resilience. And I took that from myself when I allowed them to take it from me, when they pronounced and took a name that came out of their tongue that was not mine, and I kept answering to it. I've been answering to a name that is not mine, a name that strips away the beauty of what my parents took with intention to deposit in me. My name means the Creator loves me. A name that my parents chose with intention. So every single day of my life, I would remember that. If anything came up to me, I would know I was resilient because the Creator loves me. If anything came to me to discomfort me, I would have comfort because the Creator loves me. And the minute they took my name and destroyed it and whatever they swallowed and put out at me, Salome, a name that's not mine, I allowed them to take the confidence from me. I allowed them to take whatever my parents deposited in me to carry me through this white supremacist nation was stripped from me. I was embarrassed because, hello, I'm Black. My skin was going to other me. My skin was going to remind everyone that I was not Canadian. My skin was already doing the job to let everyone know that before they would read my name, I didn't belong. And so because of that shame I was carrying year and year and year again, I would sit back and ask, why am I not taking up space and allowing people to know who I am? And so by grade 5, I said I was going to take control, but I didn't. She started stuttering, names that were not my own. And she finally landed on Salome. And I answered to a name that was not mine. And this carried on for grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. And as I got to high school, I had that same talk with myself. I'm going to take up space and take up confidence in the name that my parents named me. And I'm going to make sure that every single teacher who pronounced my name would pronounce it as it was supposed to be, Selom. But the shame, the hate, I had total aberrance by the time I was in grade 9 for the name Salome. I wanted to kill it. I wanted to kill someone because, as I said, every single time I enter a space, that name others me and allows everyone to know that I'm not Canadian before I can even speak. So high school continued and I allowed everyone to call me Salome, a name that is not mine. I answered to a name that was not mine. And so by the time I got to college, I had the confidence to step up. Before the teacher could even start on stuttering and taking a name that they would swallow and spit out at me that wasn't my own, I corrected him. Please call me Afua. The second name that's right beside it, my middle name, please, it's right there. Call me Afua. Don't call me Salome. He was confused, but he continued. And there and then I was able to kill and murder Salome. No one would ever call me that again. Because I told you guys, outside of school and professional spaces, everyone calls me Afua. So if I can control this space and ensure no one ever calls me that name again, I could bury a name that brings so much shame to me, even though it's not my fault, even though it's even probably not a white supremacist nation's fault. I'm lying, it actually is their fault. It's a tool they use so that they other us and remind us we don't belong in Canada. This isn't our country, even though we're born here and have the rights. They take our names and destroy them on purpose. They take our names and force us to present to them a name that is not ours. Don't short form your beautiful name so that you can conform in a nation that's going to do anything anyways to let you know you don't belong here. Your parents did everything. Our ancestors, if you have Black skin, understood the power in name. In many of our cultures, we have naming ceremonies, and I had to do that work after college, after I buried Salome, and had to unpack. Why was I so embarrassed of such a powerful name? As I told y'all, my parents named me a name that reminds me every single day that the Creator loves me. How could I turn around and be ashamed of something my parents took time with intention to remind me every day that I could take space in every room I am in because the Creator loves me? How could I turn around and be ashamed of a name that reminds every single person that meets me that I'm an Ewa woman from Ghana? A name that tells everyone before they meet me that my heritage is important. And my ancestors took every single time to ensure that every name that they chose for every single human being deposited life in them before they could even understand their lives. And we took that from ourselves every single time we enter spaces and give them a name that is not ours. Give them a name so that we can conform, a name to make them comfortable over our own comfortability. I was pregnant and choosing my son's name, and I came up with Ethan Alexander, the most European. I wanted him to never experience what I experienced in this country. I wanted him to enter spaces, and even though he had Black skin, would belong because the name that they could swallow would be easy for them. Ethan Alexander, I would write. And one day I researched and wondered, what is naming? What is the process behind it? And so I figured out that our ancestors had naming ceremonies, and the process of naming a child meant you were speaking into their identity and purpose through naming them. How dare I choose my oppressors' names to name a king that was going to change this world because I am his mother. So I sat there and I picked and I decided on Zion Malike, an Ewa name that means I will be established. Zion, which we all know means heaven, meaning my son is going to establish paradise in Africa. And I spoke that into him the day I named him. I took back every harm, every disgrace and guilt I carried on my back because of Salome. and deposited in my son so that every single day he walks into spaces and is ashamed because of his Black skin, because that's what this nation does to us, as I said, and others, and makes us remember that we're not Canadian, and wants us to remember we do not belong, that he knows the power behind his name and the power behind his existence. I'm sharing the story today because many of us go through this. I'm sharing the story today because many of us are reminded in every single way that we do not belong in this country. And something as small as our name, something that our parents took time to curate for us, they strip from us. And it's not an accident. It's by design. Our teachers could ask us our name and how to pronounce it. In grade 1, while she was stuttering, the right thing she should have done was, how do you say your name? But she didn't do it on purpose because she didn't want to swallow who I was and wanted to tell me who I was by giving me a name that was not mine. I kept answering to a name that was not mine, but I stripped that back. Selah, I've stepped into it. And from now on, every single day that I live, every story that I write, every stage that I take space up on, I will go by this name because my parents were intentional. The Creator loves me. So how dare I hide from that? Starting today and going forward, for every story that I write, you're going to see this name plastered on the novels that I write, the spaces that I take up and glorify. You will love my name with me. Selam. What a wonderful name. And thank you, Mama and Papa, for speaking into me, reminding me every single day that I'm resilient. Thank you, Mama and Papa, for taking time to choose a name that would remind me every single day that when this world wants to hate me, the Creator loves me. I don't need to listen to anyone's thoughts about me. My parents, with intention, built in me the strength that I need. How dare I take any white person's name that's not mine and answer to it? This is the last day that I'm ever doing that for myself. I will answer to the name that my parents chose with intention, Selam. And if it's stuck in your tongue and in your mouth, ask me. I'll walk you through it. We'll work through it together. Selam, an Ewa name meaning the Creator loves me. Thank you guys for listening, and anyone who's ever in my position, stop short forming it, stop making it digestible for our oppressors. Your parents chose that name for you on purpose. Learn it, love it, and make sure every single person that enters or allows that name to enter their mouth spits back the name that is for you. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. And I'm so, so excited I got to share this story with y'all. Bye.
Selam, okay? Say it correctly. That was you, honestly. I'm trying to not, you had me shedding tears still, because that was just so beautiful. Just the way that how something from the age of grade 5 still affects you, even when you're having children, and then thinking about that, and then the fact that you rechanged the name, that was really, yes, we're getting a lot of comments in the chat. India says, this made me so emotional. Thank you for being vulnerable. Yes, because it's something that, my name is Shakoy, so I've always had to deal with explaining or saying like, oh, should I just tell them Koi? Should I just, so it's like, I feel like your piece was really a reminder for all of us to really step into our names. And even if somebody's not sure how to pronounce it, don't be afraid to take them through it and really stand in that. So like you said, I'm really looking forward to seeing your name across the books, the lights, the platforms, the stadium, everything, because that was just so well said and such a powerful message. And then Ricky says, thank you for sharing your story. So continue to share and just speak the truth, because that element of Blackness and being isn't really talked about enough. The effects of our name and having to carry a heavy name from a young age, not realizing that this weight is actually the weight of glory. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that. And next up, I did make a mistake. Oral, you're not next, sorry. And then if I do pronounce your name wrong, I'm going to try for our next person. I'm gonna do this. Kariri. I don't think I did that correctly, but
I think I pronounce it like improperly also, but it's just, I say Kairi. So
Kairi, I love that. Excellent, Kairi. Thank you so much for being here and letting me know how to correctly pronounce your name. I'm just going to bring up the two questions that we've been asking today. If you can answer one of them. The first one is, what's the last thing you learned about yourself? or how do you show up for yourself? And then you can speak a bit more about your art form and then get into your performance.
Can I talk about my art form first?
Sure. Whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah.
So for the past year, I've been doing a lot of writing and trying to do less editing. And I found it strange having
okay, hold on.
Sorry, you're good to go. I think someone just unmuted for a second.
That's okay. Just looking at different mediums, I will draw on parchment and then cover it with text, and then write on another piece of paper and just put the pages together to see if I can come out with something. So I've been doing a lot of digging. And in the process of trying to find the poem that I wanted to read today, I've come across books. And I'm not even talking like a lifetime of books, it's just 5 years of pure, like just spitting things out and language that I grew to hate because I don't speak anything else. And what was the question? The first question that you asked me about
The first
what was
one was, what's the last thing you learned about yourself?
So the last thing I learned about myself is that I will do everything I possibly can to de-escalate a situation to the point where somebody else gets hurt when I could have said something in the first place. And then I do say something and it still happens, but it happens in a shorter amount of time. I wrote this poem when I went through a really bad breakup too. And I said, I am my monolith. The healing waves of ocean wash this onyx smooth. Liquor sweet as honey, loves like vermilion. The first betrays the morning, the latter a cold, cold touch. I am my monolith, calls the ocean deep. She skips, she squalls in her harmony. To her lullaby, I fall fast, fast asleep. And then the last one that I wanted to share today. I wrote this when I was really, really angry. And I realized very recently that the women in my family are scared of their anger. But like, it excites me. There is always a woman wandering the forest, moaning, spurned, abused, stolen by secrets whispered between open sheets. The wind whistles at her fury. Heat bellows from her belly and crashes to the earth like a fallen star. The trees tremble, murmur their grievance, anxious for her entrance. The leaves wrinkle and rest in a path back to him. The malevolent shadows swirl with glee and follow, excited for the burning, the sukunya, the sukunya, the sukunya. The lights on bonded road before her, asphalt sizzles at her step and her clothes wither to ash as she glows brighter and brighter and hotter and hotter. An ancient spirit that men revere, they see her coming and retreat in fear. The sukunya, the sukunya, the sukunya. Naked, unadorned, and anointed. The dragon trails along his street, circling calmly, breathing deeply, to fuel the fire under her scaled breast. Transformation is becoming, and she is exhausted of a life of inaction, a mouth of empty words and tin arms that creak beneath her wings. It's time to fly, take to the sky, and leave that village burning. She glides through the clouds, her tail showing no sight of ending. She is free, untamed by inadequate men, no longer conveniencing their tiny triumphs at trying. I am not your pedestal. The dragon and the fury shout in unison. I am no longer available for grooming, they scream. My hair will run wild as the sea tangling among the water weeds. My pearls shall hang to the ground and only rub upon the dirt. My song is for the moon alone. Donkeys always sing off key. My tears are only for growing. Sorry. This princess has finally become the rightful king. That was that.
Excellent. I love how you were able to speak about yourself, like speak in that third person. It kind of gave like the thought, it kind of gave off the fact that you're really able to, the best way to take in your story is kind of like from the outside. So when you're able to really separate yourself, and I think that I can definitely relate with kind of feeling like certain things should be said more in the family. So I'm really proud of you for being able to say, you know what, I'm not like everyone else here, but I'm still going to speak my truth in various words and ways and creative vibes. And then do you have like a link as to where we can find more of your work? Okay, no worries. I'll cross my fingers and hopefully say we don't have a link yet, but hopefully next time we can actually get a link, because I love to be able to look back over at your words. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable, because it's not easy speaking about the things that upset us or how we're trying to change certain narratives from our family through our art, because what crazy artist does that? All of us, we're all doing that right now. So pick up yourself. And last but definitely not least, we have Oral coming to the stage to perform. So Oral, if you can please start by answering one of these questions here, which is either what's the last thing you learned about yourself, or how do you show up for yourself? Then you can let us know a bit about your art form before you get into it.
Hey guys, my stage name is actually Old Derek, but yeah, that's my real name. But you can find me on all platforms as Old Derek, O-D-E-R-I-I-C. But my first question answers the second question still. I believe in myself more than anybody else. So yeah, that's the both questions. That's the answer to both questions. The song I'm about to do, I just actually did it like last week or something. Well, actually a couple weeks ago, but I did the video for it a week or two ago. It's called Doing Fine. It's basically a song I wrote. It's like an R&B song, but instead of like, you're trying to like get the girl back or like sad she's gone, I'm basically like, nah, I'm Gucci. Everything is fine. Like you ain't gotta worry type shit, So I'll start.
You were always showing your face. Guess it never really worked out. Trying to catch me on the rebound. I love you, Benji. Did you ever think we'd grow apart like this? It's unfortunate. I wanna know. I wanna know. Did you really mean those things you said to me before you left? I wanna know. Hey, I need to know. Hey. Ask you why we never worked out. I guess I'll always be the answer. Them bitches been at it up for me. I was still doing you favors. I know I said hit me up later, but next time you call me, if I don't reply, just know I'm doing fine. Next time you call me, if I just know I'm doing fine, I'll be alright. Did you ever think you'd see the day we pretend like we never met? I wanna know. I wanna know. Bet you made him think you did no wrong, like you're some type of perfect bitch. That's all I wanna know. That's all I need to know. You wasn't steady believing that I'm the reason. But them bitches never fucked with me. I was still doing you favors. I know it's hitting me up later, but if I don't reply, just know I'm doing fine. Next time you call me, just know I'm doing fine. I'll be alright. Next time you call me and I don't reply, just know I'm doing fine. Next time you call me and I don't reply, just know I'm doing fine. I'll be alright.
Peace, guys. Thank you.
Wow, I was right. Okay, or Derek, come through, please drop the link because I'm hoping that you have some music out that we can listen to. Yes, because you did say before on streaming platforms.
Most definitely I do, yeah. Just type in Old Derek on any platform, ODERIIC. And you'll be Gucci. I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now. But thank you guys again for the opportunity, man. I love what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are about. I love the movement. Just keep doing your thing, man. I love it.
Thank you. And if I could ask you one last question, where are you tuning in from tonight?
I'm in my crib, man. I'm in my crib.
Okay,
basically the crib / studio where I put the work down, you know? So
yes, just because I'm hearing like an accent. Are you in Canada or America?
No, I'm in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love the accent. You know, it feels like a nice home vibe. And I really, your voice was just absolutely amazing. So please definitely come back and continue to share your art with us.
Thank you. For sure, I will. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, our pleasure. And please check out the comments. That right, Salam, there's so much talent in this one night. Like, I'm just honestly like, and please remember that because these are being streamed onto YouTube, you can tune in later to rewatch some of these. If there's something that touched you, you can always really look back and just reconnect. I think that's one thing that we forget as artists is to continue to be inspired. That's why I love this space, reaching intelligent souls everywhere, okay? So before we end off tonight, I want to make, because we have all of our performers, they were able to perform and really just show out. And I love the variety of talent that the R.I.S.E stage really brings. And so what else are we bringing to y'all? Okay, so first and foremost, you already know that Frequency Fridays are riseable. So you already know Caravana is back in Toronto. So if you're trying to get that vibe before you're actually out in the streets, go onto our YouTube page and watch Riseable, featuring the talented T Polo, Nathan Baya, who is going to be the host for next week, Sprouting Awareness. So make sure you tune in. Omega Mighty and C Flavor. So y'all make sure that you check that out on our YouTube. And then for LFO, we are artists, we are creatives. So if you were creating today, or you were even just in the audience rapping and you're thinking to create one day, why not take the chance to actually apply for LFO, because this is actually a program where you're actually going to be getting paid to create, and what you're going to be creating is different art pieces to be shared to actually educate people more and make it easier for the youth to actually understand the laws and the things that they're going through, so that when they are confronted by the law, they know what to do. So an amazing initiative that ends on the 31st. So please, and this deadline was extended. Maybe it was extended for you, but you'll never know unless you apply. So I hope that gets you to apply, because you have to take advantage of opportunities. And then next week, April 1st, this week, April 1st, we have, these months are passing by so fast. Y'all, we're already almost, summer's coming, so excited. Don't mind the actual temperature right now. But we have Rise in the Park. It's going to be broadcasted at 7 p.m. live stream from our YouTube page. So y'all, if you haven't noticed already, this YouTube page, our YouTube page is popping. Tell a friend, subscribe, and don't just subscribe. Go ahead and leave a few comments. Go ahead, you know, some heart emojis, some love. We love to see that, and it really goes a long way. And then for our amazing 10-year event, the 416 R.I.S.E anniversary is happening on April 16th. But before that, we do need some help with volunteers. We're really about working with the community. And remember, if you're there thinking, oh, I don't really want to volunteer, you know, what is it for me? You could build your network, and your network, there's no cost, no financial amount that you can put on building your network. So please, if you haven't been involved with R.I.S.E before, sorry, let me really tell y'all, because I was going to R.I.S E. I've been going to R.I.S E for years. So the in-person vibes are just different. So if you're loving what's happening online, you need to use the link in our bio to purchase your ticket right now, or volunteer. Volunteer, come help out and just be a part of the team, the community, where we are reaching intelligent souls everywhere, okay? And the artists are all fire, top entertainers. So please make sure that you show up, because they are going to show out, okay? And then we also have our Twin River giveaway. So if you want to win some recording time, please make sure to use the link in our bio to sign up so that you can be a part of the, I think we're going to be announcing the winner on April 15th. So make sure that you actually take advantage of these opportunities. And last but definitely not least, please follow us on Instagram. We are R.I.S.E EDT. We're always giving lots of new videos, content, and so much information, because R.I.S.E is really doing a lot for the community. So don't be the last to know. Be the first to know by not only following us, but having your notifications turned on, so you're able to see all of the amazing work that you can also be a part of. So did anybody have any questions about any of the programs that I spoke about tonight? Yes, there is a link to volunteer. And that is in, I believe that is in our bio. I will message you directly. And if that is not in our bio now, it will be by tomorrow, okay? So we're really looking for, excellent, yes, there's our tag, R.I.S.E_EDT. Please make sure to sign up, show up for yourselves, for the community. So last but not least, we do have a tradition here at R.I.S.E where we love to use our fingers to remember about all the nerve endings that we have and their importance. So we're gonna just rub our hands together. We're gonna count down. Yes, tell a friend, tell an enemy too. Why not? They watching. So rub your hands together. We're gonna count down from 10. Feel free to turn on your mic or whatever. And then at the end, I want you to just say something you're manifesting for the week. But if you're not manifesting from now, all y'all gonna get to. All right, so here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Oh, I didn't say anything. Prosperity, freedom, all of them things. And then last, yes, that's what I'm talking. Oh, and I love that good vibe shirt, girl. You already know it's all about the good vibes.